All right, welcome to the Profectus webinar. We do this every month. It's like a great time for you guys to hop in, ask your questions, but also I always share a profitable strategy with you, which I'm going to do. And last month we had a lot of updates on the platform, and every month we have more updates coming. So this is like a great moment for us, for me, but also Joost and Nico are here, the other founders, to answer your questions, get your feedback, because normally you cannot really have impact on a software company, but we want to base our whole platform just on your feedback, right? What do you need? What do you want to automate? How can we make your life easier? Because the mission is simplifying automated trading for everyone. That's our core mission with Profectus, and that's what our platform is about. So what is Profectus AI for the people that are new, real fast? It's the easy to learn drag and drop builder to automate any trading strategy, allowing everyone to trade the FX, crypto, and stock market consistently. So theory versus practice. You want profitable results, but how? This is like the question I had, because I like working out. I studied as well. I sleep my 8 hours every day. And also you want to play, right? You want to live. So what you're doing, you're working out, but still you want to make results. You're studying and you still want to make results. You're sleeping, you cannot always be awake, right? And you're playing. And you should be doing these 4 things. But this means one thing. And that is that you cannot watch the charts 24/7 with the required focus to perform. And this is a big issue that I figured out along my journey the past 10 years, and Joost was the same, and Nico had the same things. And we just figured out that, like, how to solve these things. Can you still perform as a trader in the markets? Or is it just not possible if you have a busy life, right? Some of you guys here are entrepreneurs, have your own business, so maybe you have a little bit more room in your routine to watch the charts, but many of us also just have a job and want to save and invest and trade alongside that, right? So this is a big thing. You cannot watch the charts and perform. That's why you miss your trades and have negative long-term results. So what I'm going to do is share one of my profitable strategies, a track record, and that's fully automated. And then that is this one, right? So you have a track record here. This started in 2021 in October, so exactly 4 years now. And I made a total return of 115%. So if you trade this strategy with risk or with less risk, then of course you have more returns or less returns. But this fully automated strategy, if you miss trades, that has a huge impact on your trading. And that's the biggest problem you have to overcome as a trader. Maybe you don't know that yet, but I'm going to show you the impact right now. So remember this 115% return, right? What happens if I only traded 9 to 5 and never missed a trade? So imagine I'm here on the trading floor. I have nothing else to do than just focused and watching the charts. And I never miss a trade. So I'm trading 9 to 5. What happens if I take this strategy and trade it like that? So I only open my trades between those periods. So it's not automated. Well, before I had 115% returns, but now after that, I only have 69% of returns. So by just not trading all the sessions, you can see my returns are like half. And that's a big impact in your trading. And I'm a profitable trader. So imagine that you are still learning and trading, what a lot of people are doing, and they are around that break-even mark, right? And they want to break through to the profitable trading mark. Well, they will not reach it because they lose money even though they're break-even. And this is proof of that. And this really brings that home, hopefully. So this is an old picture of myself running on a mountain with a boulder. And this is how I started 10 years ago with trading. It was like, okay, I have to study this skill. And that was the trading skill. I've been through it, right? If you already started with trading or investing. And it takes you about 6 months or a year to really master a trading strategy. If it's support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever the strategy is, ICT, SMC, you have so many names nowadays. Whatever strategy it is, it takes you a few months, maybe a year to really master it. And then you mastered it, and then you realize, okay, I'm just missing trades. I don't take every opportunity, or I'm going to make mistakes. I'm trading based on emotions. And then you're this person running on the mountain, just like I was, and then you will make a mistake and the boulder rolls over you and you start over. Or you learn a strategy and it takes you a year and then the strategy stops working. Then you put in all that extra work, all that work of studying it, and then the market's changed, and then, yeah, you have nothing. So I love the markets, and I will always love the markets, and my passion for the markets is huge, and therefore I channeled that passion towards not just trading, but to really learning a skill that even though a strategy stops working, you can still use it. You can still use that skill and build new strategies. So if you want to succeed, trade smarter and live freer. Algorithms catch all market opportunities, so you solve that missed trades, right? Trade with confidence. So sometimes like news is coming in this afternoon, I have some positions opened, and my algorithms will manage those trades. I will not be influenced by the news. I will not make mistakes. It will just, the trailing stop loss will work of that strategy, and all these things just happen automatically. So I cannot even make mistakes, right? And they always trade with confidence. Like we all know, you're doing a prop firm challenge or something, you hit a little bit of drawdown, then you're thinking like, do I lose this account or not? And you're gonna start taking weird trades or doing weird stuff. That's all solved with automation. And all the strategies are tested over many years, just not 1 year of data, but many, many years, because your computer tests for you. While you sleep, your computer will find the best settings and backtest for you. So algorithms can easily double your returns with ease, or even triple them, or even move you from break even to a profitable trader, because yeah, manually it didn't work out. So Profectus AI is built to help you build these algorithms without having to code. Because I personally, and Joost as well, the two of us, we moved from manual trading to automation, and Nico went straight into learning algorithms because that was just, it made more sense, right? So the biggest obstacle for Joost and I was, okay, we want to automate, but we cannot automate. And I just had a conversation here as well with someone about, okay, is it really possible to do? And I'm going to show you that it is possible to automate any strategy you imagine without having to code. So how to get started for free? It's of course a skill you have to learn. Profectus AI is not an educational company. It's just a software company, and therefore you need to learn somewhere. So the easiest thing is to just find free tutorials on YouTube. There are many, and more people learn this skill, get results with the skill, and will make content about it. So YouTube content will grow on how to build on Profectus AI. That's the quick tip you can already follow. There are already some videos. But we also have a help center. So like I said, we are not an educational company, but we do use your feedback. And a lot of you guys are giving us feedback. How can I learn quicker, right? So Nico is building this help center, and you can find it with docs.profectus.ai. And here you have a lot of tutorials already to just help you get started. And then you learn the basics, and then you can just build and build, and you can build easy strategies and then more complex strategies. And then the third thing is find free strategies in the platform. The latest update we did at the start of September, end of August, we updated our template section. You can see we have now 5 different trading strategies. 3 strategies are for FX. One is for crypto and one is for the S&P 500. Today I'm sharing a strategy for the DAX, but you can also trade it on the S&P 500, for instance, and test it on whatever you want. But we have a lot of free strategies. And on top, we also have a hidden template library, which you can also find. And we even have more strategies you can use there. So my tip, if you're new to this, start with those strategies, see how they work, test them, just 2 clicks. It's apply template and export, and you run it in MetaTrader, right? So these are the 3 biggest tips I have for you on how to get started for free. So let's build a strategy. I always watch what's happening in the industry. And one of the strategies I did see was a 5-minute fair value gap opening range breakout strategy. A very common channel online posted this strategy. And we automated this strategy. Normally, if you have to code it, it will take you weeks to do it. We did it in less than an hour with just dragging and dropping the blocks on Profectus. And we got these results. So you can see 117% return. And I'm going to talk about this strategy. So the trading plan, you can screenshot this. Of course, this is just for you, but I'm going to share a link with you where you very soon where you can just download this and test it for yourself. So the trading plan, it was like a video of 10-20 minutes. I just watched the video and put it in 5 different steps. The first thing you do is you trade the DAX on 5 minutes, mark the high at 1630, 1645. And you're trading that opening, right? You want to wait for the first breakout, and that's step 2. The 5-minute breakout between 1645 1800. Yeah, so a very short period of time you're looking for a breakout. Then you want to find the fair value gap. If you don't know what it means, you can easily find it online, but I will also show you in trade examples soon. And then you need a bullish formation. So we only trade long because, yeah, the DAX is just the best tradable long only. That's also what we do with the S&P 500. Over time, if you look back 100 years, the S&P always rises, right? Long term, it's a nice edge to have. Just trade longs only. And then enter after a fair value gap is rejected with an engulfing, and then a risk to reward of 1 to 5. So you risk 1 and you earn 5, and then stop loss at the swing low. This is the overall trading plan. Any questions so far, guys, before I continue? How do you determine swing low by amount of bars? Exactly. Yeah, you look back a few candlesticks, and then you place it at the lowest low. So this is a trade example. Here you see MetaTrader in our with a Profectus AI algorithm on it, the algorithm that I will share with you. And here you can see the buy was executed, and then the stop loss is above the buy. So that means price already moved in profits, and we have automatically a stop loss trail because that works very well. And then we have a 5 to 1 or 1 to 5 risk to reward. You cannot see the target here, but you will soon see it. And then you see here the trade played out. So you banked 5R. This is the setup. And I want to show you right now how it looks in action on the charts. Look, this was that setup I showed you. So this is the algorithm in action. You have here the buy setup. The stop loss is already trailed. And then price is just continuing. And here you bank. So this is fully automated. And you can do this yourself as well. I will show you how to export it on the platform soon. Let's see if we can get another trade just to see it in action. Some trades go very quick, and that's a big thing that proves that you cannot trade. Look at this. It happened real quick, and it trailed the stop loss. This happens it's like a 5-minute chart. So you need to be very focused to do this manually, right? So if you miss this trade, let's say you miss it, you miss out of 5R. And 5R, that's 5%. That might be your monthly return, right? And that's the big problem I want to solve for you guys, and we want to solve with Profectus AI, is simplifying your manual trading plan. This is just one strategy. I've automated thousands of strategies myself. Joost did as well, Nico. In our community, people make so many strategies. So don't be too focused on just this strategy, but more about the idea like, okay, I trade this way. Is it possible to automate? And it is. How does it look in Profectus? Well, if I zoom in like this, you can see this is quite an advanced build. It is quite big. So all you have to do is to click on the link I'm about to share in the Discord for you. And then this opens up. If you're not signed in, you quickly need to sign in. But then this opens up, and then you have a big export button here for MQL5 or X5. And if you click on that and you have an account, then you will get the strategy. This is a pro strategy, but we also have other strategies on the platform. But let me quickly share the link. It will be in your Discord very soon. I always keep it there for a few minutes, so make sure you take it quickly, because there's only 4 people that are live with us, right? Joost, you're sharing it? Joost will share it. Any questions so far, guys? It is shared. Cool. I want to dive into the platform now with you and show you in action. It will be removed after the webinar. All right, this is the platform. This is the code, and focus on this right now. You'll have time to grab the link. Here you have the overall system. If you're totally new, this might be overwhelming. The only important thing here is the buy now button, and you can change the stop loss right here if you want. Target and the stop loss you can change always in the buy now blocks. And if you feel like, okay, I want another strategy, you can just shift, select, delete, and then here you have the breakout strategy. So this is a pound yen on a 1 hour time frame. That's where you execute it. Here you can read about the strategy. You click on apply template, and there you have it, right? If you then export, you have this strategy, and you can test it for yourself. All these strategies are good. You can improve them even more, and then you have already something to play around with and to trade with, because these are tested. We test them also on years of data, and just with your own creativity, you can maybe go to a buy now block, go to the stop loss, maybe change the stop loss to fixed pips. Let's say every trade I want with 50 pips stop loss. and maybe a 1 to 5 risk to reward, and then you have that, right? That is how this platform works, and then you export it here. But maybe you don't want this strategy, and you're more like, I only trade crypto. Okay, then you trade crypto. You have a Bitcoin strategy here, time frame 8 hour or 4 hour, and then you just apply it. You have the blocks here, so this is run per candle. This is the trading rule, and you can just study this on your own. But you can also here on the question mark click there, and you can go search for help. And then you have here level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And you can just ask your questions also with messages. And we, Joost, Nico, and I right now just reply to it and answer them ourselves to help you out. Yeah, so I hope this makes it very clear. For the more advanced builders, you of course have here a lot of things. So I want to answer some of your questions now. So let me stop sharing and let's dive into the questions, if you have any. I received a lot also on DM, so I do have a few I want to answer. And the first one was how to change your stop loss and target. Well, I just showed you that in the buy sell blocks, you can do that. And then you export the strategy and you're good to go. Other question was, can you get funded, or how does funding work with these strategies? So what I did this week, I passed already 2 FTMO challenges with automation. So yeah, prop firms do allow it. But what we want to do and make a difference in this industry is to also fund you guys. If you build a good algorithms, that we, you contact us because we don't know. So you contact us like, I've been building this, I have a track record. Do you want to invest in us? And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that with a partnership with DarwinX. And next week, I'll hop on a call with DarwinX and do a podcast about Profectus AI and how all of that works. And through DarwinX, we can invest in all the talented builders on the Profectus AI platform. So I'm very excited about that. We played around with DarwinX, and we are now 500,000 funded. Something like that, right, Joost? On just a simple algorithm we uploaded 3 years ago. And you get payouts, right? We are this month up a lot, and it's just an extra income stream. And that's also with FTMO and other prop firms. So there are a lot of things to do there. But yeah, that's to answer that funded question. Let's see in the questions, in which channel? The Discord. Are you not in it? We can also share the template here in the Google. All right, guys. Any questions from me or Nico or Joost? But updates or yeah, go ahead. I can unmute you if you, or you can do it yourself. Talk with us or just in the chat. Does latency affect much your strategies? Good question. Not really. We are not really pursuing high frequency trading. We are personally manual traders, so it's impossible to do like very quick trading manually, right? So we really built a platform to transform all the manual traders into algo traders. So not really focused on high frequency. Latency, we do test with it, like milliseconds. You can adjust that in MetaTrader, but it doesn't really hurt our performance at all. Like we always have a big stop loss, like minimum like 20 pips with a strategy. Sometimes news hits. Yeah, then you have maybe some slippage on your entry. If you have a small stop loss and a little bit of slippage can have a high impact, but it is a profitable strategy, still profitable. Does the platform support using cross pairs, so one bot over multiple pairs? Yeah, MetaTrader 5 allows that. You can, of course, individually run an algorithm on one pair, but you can also run the same algorithms on multiple pairs. But you can also build an algorithm that analyzes all the pairs together and then based on that executes. So that works. Yeah, MetaTrader 5 allows that. MetaTrader 4 doesn't, but we are purely focused on 5 that you can build like that. Joost, any additions you want to say here?
Well, for the strategy Max just shared, it's one of the more advanced strategies we've shared so far, but we think it's a very good way of showing you that even though a strategy might be a bit more complex, it is always possible to build it within the Profectus platform, right? Don't get intimidated by the amount of blocks that you see, because I literally built this strategy, I think in like 25 minutes from scratch. And yeah, regardless of the number of blocks, it's still very easy to do as long as you get the logic straight. And we've been receiving a lot of questions about, can we do certain SMC concepts or IC concepts? And this strategy is proof that indeed you can, right? There's a fair value gap in it, which is relatively easy to program, and combine it with a proven concept such as a range breakout, and you have a very solid strategy.
Can I set it up? A lot of questions, just. Can I set it up so when I hit 2%, for example, over multiple pairs, the bot will stop trading? Can you build that, Joost?
For now, okay, so basically, what it can do is you can close the trade at 2%, right? There's a closed trade block where you can set the condition that if my account hits 2% profit, I want to close all trades. That is possible, but for now, we don't have the option to shut down the EA or the bot entirely, okay? So closing trades at 2% profit, yes, but then you will have to shut down like the full system itself on your own for it to not take any trades anymore. Then Javier, text-based input.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice feedback there.
Yeah.
We will look into that. Thanks. Yeah. Cool. Any other things you guys feel like, okay, I missed this in the platform, or I really want this? These are like the times to talk about your experience, right? So Kevin, you're here as well. You have been building quite a lot in the past year. Do you have like any things you miss in Profectus right now?
I don't think there's a lot of missing because the big difference is that you guys add a lot of templates. So that makes it a lot easier for people in the beginning to build things. I think one comment which was made in the call last month, but I don't think that it's just implemented now, was that if you could have a notebook internally in Profectus where you could put notes of what you, for example, tested or why you made a certain code change. Because, for example, in another platform, if you change the code up, then you can't see the old code anymore. You have to save it basically externally to then be able to import it. But maybe it's, and that was a comment I think of last call, that somebody said if you guys could build like a notebook, something there where you could basically put your thoughts in it. So that, for now, that's the only thing I see that's maybe missing.
Yeah, note taking. Yeah, we have a very small feature on the platform right now, but it is very limited, and we are working on. I'll share my screen. Right now, you have project properties, and then here you have description. So you can type here what your strategy is, but it's a little bit hidden, right? You can also add a link, and then you find that link in your library. So maybe an FX Blue link with a track record, or DarwinX link, or whatever it is, or my FX book. But we have only this description for now. But we want to have it here on the canvas, right? That's what you like to have. To just
yeah, exactly. That maybe somebody's, for example, building a project and then he's building multiple versions, and then he has somewhere in the system a notebook where, for example, like in my experience, like some people build all day, but some people build multiple days a week. So then you go back to a code, go out of code. Might be nice to have somewhere where you can actually read down what you have tested the last time or where you were busy with, basically.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we are a little bit busy with it, but we will push it more to really have it on the canvas and bigger, and that you can store per project your notes. So it's not like general note taking on your account, but more like per project you can write down your notes.
And also maybe that's what I'm thinking about now is, let's say you're making a algo and you're testing multiple versions of it. Maybe it's interesting to have like a folder where you can set, okay, this is the BTC breakout algo, and then you can put all versions of the algo, for example, one with a turtle trail, one with the pie trail, and then you can put them all together. Because, for example, in the other platform, you then have to search between all those codes within your versions. Maybe that's interesting as well.
Okay, nice.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that's that's a very good one.
More questions. Can you guys maybe explain the logic of a fair value gap in the Profectus builder? We can do that. Will that be a lot?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
No,
quick right?
We can do it very quickly. If you can open the project for the template we just shared, because that's the beauty of the platform. It's so easy.
All right, let me quickly. And the other question, just can you cover that?
Yeah. So for you, Andrew, you're now in Discord. I just approved you. Is there a tutorial in the Discord? Well, we have all our tutorials and guides within the help center, which Max explained earlier. Okay, so docs.profectus.ai is our full-on help center with all tutorials. Okay, let's go for the fair value gap. So
here you see more tutorials about how it works. And otherwise, the big tip is YouTube Profectus AI tutorials, and more videos will come there. Also, I see in the chat, Enzo is here as well. He has a Dutch community where he educates also people about building with Profectus. So if you're Dutch, maybe that's something for you. All right, Joost, can you see my screen?
Yeah,
there we go.
Okay, so for Enzo, about the fair value gap, you see what I did with the last blocks, the modify variable block. I named them to see which section does what, right? First section, range breakout, and the second section, the big one, it says FVG found. So basically, the 3 blocks above that modify variable indicate the candle rules for the fair value gap. And very simply, what I did, so no, that one, yes, from there you go. What I did is I take 3 candles, which really, if you know fair value gap, if you can visualize that for yourself, you can look up the concept and you very clearly see the image. And it can be done in 3 blocks, okay? It takes 3 candles. The first rule here I say, candle low for candle ID 1 has to be higher than the candle high of candle ID 3, right? Okay. Yeah, it gets super complex if I'm going to explain it candle by candle, but maybe the easiest thing to explain is that indeed it's possible with only 3 blocks because you take 3 candles. And within Profectus, you can assign all the candle properties within 1 block, right? With a candle property, I mean a high, a low, a close, a wick, whatever it is. And it's really simple. If you look up a visualization, an image of what a fair value gap looks like, you can super easily build it in Profectus using 3 condition blocks, 3 trade rule blocks, okay? I don't think it makes much sense. It makes a whole lot of sense of going over every block right now because that takes too much time. But I hope you get the idea. Also, by Max opening the blocks, you see how easy it actually is.
Yeah. So the big tip also for us, how we always build ourselves, is to visualize it first. I always have like a real easy notebook. And this notebook is filled with my notes about if I build something, I draw it out first. Or if you have like a pattern, like maybe a wedge pattern or whatever pattern of the markets, a chart pattern, I first draw it out and really think about what do I need? How many candles do I need? And all of that. And then do it step by step. So Google fair value gap, then you see candlestick pattern. And then the high is above that high, the low of that candle is above that low. And so you just build. More questions. We can also do a tutorial on it, right?
Yeah.
We can just make a proper YouTube video about how to build a strategy like this, but this strategy is for you guys for the webinar. So we really want to, maybe another fair value gap strategy we share online.
I can very quickly answer Eric Noriga's question because what you're asking is about calculating something, for instance, the last 20 EMAs, their close price. Basically, when it comes down to calculating averages or summing up something, we have something that's called the formula block. And in the formula block, what you can do is take 3 values, right? For instance, if you want to calculate an average, you take 2 values, you add them up and divide it by 2, right? You can do the same for 3, 4, 5, how many values it might be. So to simply answer your question, yes, you can do that in the formula block, and you use a variable to assign the values to it. If that's too advanced for you, you can easily find how variables and formulas work in our help center, which will explain you everything. But this is the outright answer.
Just find inputs and variables, and then you can learn more about it. But we will topic also to maybe make a dedicated video on. All right. Then we have, that's also a good one. Nico shared more trading bots of the other library.
Yeah, for what Kevin just brought up about the stress testing, this is something we sometimes do to verify results if we think they might be too good to be true. What we mean by this is simply that if we run a backtest in MetaTrader 5, even though we have the highest quality of tick data, sometimes it could be the case that the real life market environment is different in your tick data from what you're used to in your live trading. So what we do then is move over and stress test an EA using variable spreads and commissions. This is super difficult, super advanced, but in general, this is how we do it. And if we share a project with you, it's always stress tested. Okay, so any template or EA we share from Profectus has been stress tested.
All right. As a buyer of the machine and correct the code, is it possible to have the code in Profectus to adjust and export using my own settings preferences? No, we work with a license key. So what happens is, of course, if you guys are going to build strategies on this platform, and maybe you have so many strategies you want to sell a few to other people to help them out and all of that, or make like an e-com business around it. And that's also something we support, right? We have been sharing and selling strategies as well. And how we do that is if we sell a strategy, we put a license key in it so that people cannot, they buy it and they cannot keep selling it, like sharing the files with others. So if you sell things, also always just sell the X5 or the X4 file with a license key. So therefore we don't allow uploading it to Profectus, because then you can just continue to export it, right, in the X5 and distribute it. Like one person buys it and then 100 people have it. That's protection for the seller. The project you shared for the today is for the DAX, but you can also test it on the S&P 500, but it's made for the DAX.
So stock indices.
Yeah, but like every strategy you can trade on every market, the crypto, stocks, or FX. Just test it and see what the results tell you. That's the key thing here. All right, guys, then I think we covered a lot of questions. What is it that you guys would like to see more? Is it more templates, more strategy, if you can choose? More educational stuff, more templates, more live sessions? You can choose one thing. What has the highest impact on your results? Template with education, okay. So we share a template and then we explain step by step for like 30 minutes how it exactly works and how to build it with us. That is maybe nice. Okay. That would be great. Cool. All right, guys. Leave and continue with the day and start building. All right, guys. See you next month. Great you're here. And next month, more people and more updates.